Start point here. So let's get started on our top 20 reasons that people go out of business every year. Carpet cleaners, namely. Okay, got it right back up here to the very beginning. Very funny, Brian. Very funny. Okay. All right, here we go with the top 20 reasons. Number 20 is poor customer service. And I know that sounds like it's way down low, but you'd be surprised. There's a lot of companies who offer poor customer service and somehow they still stay in business. God only knows. I don't know how they do it. Hey, more power to them, but I think if you offer bad customer service, you probably shouldn't even be in business, but that's just my perspective, right? What do I know? But to me, I feel like it's just normal. You should be kind. You should be courteous. You shouldn't be using slang when you're talking. No offense, Paul Granados. You need to be genuine. Clients can sense if you're genuine or not. Okay? Also, if a problem arises, solve that problem fast. Don't put it off because it just festers. People really like it a lot if you take care of issues immediately. Because let's face it, no matter how good of a business you are, you're going to run into problems. And clients even understand that. They just think they're not being heard. So customer service, if you're not delivering top-notch quality service, then you're probably not going to keep your business very long. Okay, that's one of the reasons. But that's not the number one reason. You got 19 more. All right, 19. I feel like it's bait and switch. If you build your company on a bait and switch model, it's going to cause you a lot of problems. Okay, yes, you're going to make it. You make a lot of money in the short run, but you're not going to build any long-term clients, and you're not going to have a good clientele base. You're not going to have a foundation to build on. A lot of these companies who are bait and switch go out of business, start another name, and do it over and over and over again. You know, is that any way to live? How do you sleep at night? I don't know how they do it. It just doesn't make sense to me. And what is bait and switch? So they start off with a very low price, like $5.99, $99.99 a room. They get inside $9.99 a room. They get inside the house and they blow it up to $500, $1,000, or even $1,500. It's not unusual. That's what they're doing. So number 20 is customer service, bad customer service. 19 is bait and switch. Also, now don't forget there are legitimate add-ons like protector, deodorizer, antimicrobial, anti-allergen. Those are legitimate, okay? All right, number 18. Yeah, that's true, Tommy. A lot of people are. They're getting more worried of it all the time, especially when they can see us as somebody being different, right? All right, number 18, growing too fast. You know, if you grow too fast, you can outstrip your management or even your technician's ability to keep up, or maybe even their skill set. So you're growing too fast and you outstrip the whole company of its resources, and then you can't deliver quality service anymore. And people at the end of the day want quality service. Remember, first you crawl, then you walk, and then you run. But a lot of people like to just get up and run immediately, and that's going to cause you some problems. Okay? So don't put the cart before the horse. Go ahead first and take your time and build slowly, confidently build your company, and I'm going to show you how to do that as we move on through the different reasons. Okay, number 17. I like number 17, even though it's kind of low on the list here. It's failure to evolve. And what do I mean by that? Well, with the advent of the internet, things are changing rapidly. So you as a cleaner, you need to be able to evolve, you know, on the spot as fast as possible. Floor furnishings are changing every single day. Look, what do we have now? We have polyesters, we have olefins, then we have natural fibers. We have some unusual natural fibers out there, right, that we're dealing with, you know, like viscose and stuff like that. And on the other hand, we're getting these different materials on furniture, linens, and things of that nature. You need to be prepared for these type of things. What about LVT or LVP? You know, that's quickly growing in the market. So you need to be able to adapt. You need to be able to evolve with your business. If you're stuck in the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s, you're going to be left behind. Don't let that happen to you. Last but not least on that, chemistry has evolved a lot. If you're still using chemistry from the 80s and the 90s and early 2000s, you're getting left behind. Your competitors are moving past you because they're using quality products and components in these products like we use from our company, our TMF products. You know, they're just basically the best products you can buy on the market. And we back them up 100% because we use ingredients that are made for newer style fibers and products on the market today that are coming out. So always, you know, keep your eyes moving forward. Keep yourself evolving. That way you don't have to worry about going out of business. All right, number 16, no business plan. If you don't have a business plan, to me it's like having a ship with nothing to steer it with. Okay, basically the waves of the sea are just moving you all over the place, anywhere you want to go. And it's very easy to come up with a business plan. All you need is to know where you're going, point A to point B. And then the human psyche has this incredible ability to get you from point A to point B. But if you don't point it somewhere, it just can't get there, or it doesn't know where it's going. It's going all over the place. And you're running a business by the seat of your pants, and that's just not the way to do it. It's going to get you in a lot of trouble. You need a destination. You need a start, and you need an end goal. So even if you don't know how to make a business plan, but you can go on the internet and find many templates for it, just write out a simple one. You can just put it in your pocket, look at it every day. Keep it in your phone notes or something like that. Okay? All right, so that's number 16, no business plan. What about number 15? Number 15 is having no accountant or no lawyer. Now, these are two professionals you need to have a good grasp on. You need to have a good attorney on retainer. You need to have a good accountant because they keep you out of tax trouble. They keep you out of legal trouble. And let me tell you what, it's not a matter if you're going to get sued. It's a matter of when you're going to get sued if you've been in business long enough. If you're dealing with the public, something just might happen. There might be a slip and fall or something of that nature. And so you need a lawyer for that. Or there might be, I keep a lawyer now. I keep a group of lawyers on retainer because I have people copying my stuff all the time. So I have to follow up on that. And, people who are doing unfair practices, we have legal rights. And with those legal rights, you can pursue them. But if you don't have a good attorney, you're not going to do that well. So you need a good attorney. You need good representation. And when it comes to an accountant, you need to have a good accountant who can, let me mute this, by the way, so I don't hear myself speaking. You need to have a good accountant. You need to keep up with your taxes. I know guys who got behind on their taxes, not paying the unemployment taxes, turning in and stuff like that. They lost their houses. They lost their businesses. They lost their personal life and everything. So you don't want that to happen to you. So keep up with the professionals. Make sure you got a good accountant and a good lawyer. That's number 16. All right, number 14 kind of comes closely with 15, and that's no or improper insurance. You probably need to have marine insurance. You need to have flood insurance inside your building. You need to have theft insurance. Somebody steals your truck mount and your van isn't insured. Even if you got it paid off, are you carrying the lowest insurance? Probably not. What about slip and fall insurance? You need to have these things. You need to protect yourself against the customer's furnishings. What if you break something, you go inside of a home? The longer you're in business, the more you move up clientele, the more expensive furnishings you might have in their home. You break a $5,000, $10,000 vase, what's going to happen? You're responsible for it. So you need to really make sure that you've got that under control. You need to have a good insurance, and talk with your insurance agent. Make sure you got all the right insurances. That way you're covered in the event of emergency. You don't have to worry about going out of business. Okay? So vehicles and business insurance, make sure you've got that up to date. Wouldn't even hurt to have life insurance, by the way. Or maybe medical insurance if you get injured or something of that nature. Especially if you're an owner-operator. You need to be able to have income coming in, and that'll help you right there. All right, number 13. 13 could be higher on the list. Remember, this is just my top 20. Yours might be different. But 13 is integrity. And, clients can sense integrity. All right, in the first minute or two, they're going to already assume what type of person you are and what type of company that they're doing business with. They might have already assumed that by dealing with, looking on the internet and dealing with the first point of contact, the people that come in, who answer your phone for you. Really, everything flows from uphill to downhill. So if you're a person of integrity and you're building a business, all your employees, you'll attract integrity and you'll teach them integrity. Okay? So remember, clients can read you and they can also read your reviews. So you better make sure that you have integrity, because if you don't, it could definitely cost you your business. I was also mentioning, when it comes to integrity, what about your social media? What kind of shape is that in? If a client goes and looks at your social media, what do they see? Do they see a bunch of political things? A bunch of religious things? A bunch of crazy things? That's not what they want to see in a person who's coming inside their home. You better make sure your social media is as clean as possible. Okay, I think that's important. And also, when it comes to integrity, don't overly fraternize with the clients. Be friendly, but don't cross the professional lines, because that can certainly get you in trouble real quickly in this day and time. So last but not least on the integrity, how's your personal life? If you don't have your personal life together, it's very difficult to run your business life. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I tell you what, your personal life, if it goes down the tubes, it's a good possibility your business can go down the tubes. I was talking to a brick mason the other day who's got a really nice business, but it took him a long time to build it back up. And on his business card, he had to mark it all out, put a new number on the back of the business card. I said, what happened? An ex-wife take half your business? He said, well, kind of, yeah. He said, actually, what she did is I let her create the business number and stuff like that, put it in her name. So when we got divorced, she took my business number, and when people call in, she tells them that I'm a bum. Wow, this guy's a nice guy and does great work. So make sure that you got your personal life in order, and don't let it bleed over. If you do have personal problems, we all do. Nobody's exempt. Don't bring your drama to the workplace. Okay? Make sure you bring, your business, and don't dump your problems on clients. They don't want that. That's a surefire way to kill the client. She might be saying, oh, yeah, I feel bad for you and stuff like that. When you leave, she'll say, I ain't having that crazy fool back ever again. You don't want that. So make sure that you have integrity. Okay, number 12, little or no people skills. You must be able to adapt to people's personalities. If they're one way, you might be that way when you go inside there. If they're laughing and jovial, well, then you can be laughing and jovial. If they're serious, maybe you should be serious. Maybe not overly serious, but you want to be professional. And you want to be able to have those skills where you can carry on a conversation. You can start a conversation. And you can, compliment people on some of the things that they have and stuff like that. You should be able to keep a conversation going on. And if you can't, remember, people do business with people, not businesses usually, over time. So if you don't have good people skills, pick up a book. Improve upon it. Ask and practice it. There's nothing wrong with that. Picking up a book and studying. They should teach people skills more in school, but they don't, unfortunately. Okay. Number 11. I think this is a big one right here. And I look for this in employees especially. And that is an eye for detail. And what do I mean by an eye for detail? Well, I've seen guys going to clean carpets and they'll see a spot and they don't even go back and hit it. They don't hardly even notice it. Or they don't notice the traffic pattern is still dirty and needs a second hit. You see, they haven't developed that eye for detail. Or putting nice lines inside the carpet, or however you want to leave it. Or, or they just walk all over the place and leave it messy. They don't have that eye for detail. Let me tell you what, women have an eye for detail. And if you don't develop an eye for detail, they're going to have it. They're going to look behind the doors to see if you went behind the doors. They're going to look at all these things, and if you don't have that eye for detail, and you didn't pay attention to those small details, they're not going to have you back. Or they're going to shop you, and they're going to get somebody else who does have an eye for details. Okay. And let me tell you what, if a client calls you back because of a redo, because you missed some spots, and she was able to get those spots out, that shows you didn't have an eye for detail. Shame on you. That should never, ever happen. Okay? I'm slightly offended. My brother's extremely offended. If he wraps all his hoses up and the client says, will you come back inside the house and hit a spot again? He's highly offended. I'm offended, but he's highly offended. I'll just go in there and say, I'll let him know. So, Mr. Jones, I will let you know. If it didn't come out the first time, and the second time I worked on it, it's not going to come out the third time. But just for your peace of mind, I'll be glad to pull my hoses back in and do it all over again. My brother, he will not go back in. Period. He says, too bad, man. That's just how it is. But if she can go out there and take that spot out, and you couldn't, shame on you. So you better have an eye for detail and don't leave spots, traffic patterns behind that a client can improve upon. It's pretty bad, isn't it? All right, we're now getting into the top 10. It looks like it's going to take about 30 minutes to get through these. Okay, number 10 is competing on price. This is a serious business killer. If you're competing on price and setting your prices by your competitors' prices, that's a huge mistake. Remember this, a lot of people are just focused way too much on their competition. I'm not saying you shouldn't know what your competition is doing. That's fine. But remember my saying, that is, losers focus on winners. Winners focus on winning. That's what you should be focusing on, winning all the time. And you're not going to win if you have too lower prices and you're competing on prices against somebody else, because now you're basically saying, well, we're apples to apples. When really you should be apples to oranges. You're actually different. Okay? And so if you're different and you feel like you're different, you feel like your service is better, you should be able to get a higher price. So you want to determine your CODB, your cost of doing business, and then you want to set your desired profit level or your return on investment after that point. Okay? If you don't, you continue to compete on price, you're probably going to go out of business one day. You're just not going to make it. All right, number 9. What's up, Otura? Brian, Jason, W guys. I'll get to it a little here in a minute here. Get through these top 20 here. Number 9, poor or inconsistent quality. Okay, let's take McDonald's for instance. You know, they have a system and the burger stays the same way all the time. And you go in, and I'm not a fan of McDonald's, don't get me wrong, but if you go in and you get yourself a burger and it's good, or it's bad, you're not going to come back. This is nasty. Ugh, I didn't like that. You know, it's just a bad burger, right? Or let's suppose you get a burger that's good one time, good the second time, but then it's terrible the third time, terrible the fourth time. Well, you're not going to go back again. So see, if you have poor quality or you have inconsistent quality, the client really doesn't want you back. I wouldn't want you back to my house to do work. If the guy who cut my lawn and does my landscaper, if he did a good job one time and a bad job another time, one time I might let slide. He might have something going on, just didn't miss something. But if he does it over and over again, and the quality is inconsistent, I'm not going to have him back. Let me tell you what, a woman's not going to have you back into her home if you don't deliver consistent quality or high quality workmanship. You should be knocking their socks off. With the advent of the internet and with truck mount forums and the Facebook page and the huge resource on the internet, if you're not taking advantage of that, again, shame on you. If you deliver poor and inconsistent quality and you drop the ball, how you doing, Andy? How you doing, Jay? Now, I'm going to pick that ball up and I'm going to run for a touchdown. And I'm going to keep that client. I can't lose a client, but I can give one away if I don't do quality workmanship on a consistent basis. It's very important, okay? So keep it consistent. Remember, and also remember that clients are getting postcards and coupons and looking at coupons all the time. So they're being tempted to move away from you. Don't let them have a reason to leave. Make sure your quality is so high that if you do decide to leave, they'll come back to you. All right, number 8. I think this is really important. Failure to develop sales ability. I know a lot of you guys think that you... How you doing, Greg? Thanks, Greg. I appreciate that. How you doing, Josh? How about failure to develop sales ability? I've heard, I think I read in a book one time, that sales are the lifeblood of a company. You need to be able to sell yourself. You need to be able to sell your company to people. You need to be able to upsell, or should I say, how about add-ons? Nothing wrong with Protector. There's nothing wrong with adding on some furniture, some tile and grout, and stuff like that. You can raise a ticket by double, honestly and fairly, by offering these diverse services if you do a good job at it. But you have to sell them on it. You have to demonstrate. And if you do that, then you're going to be able to increase your sales ability, which is going to increase the likelihood of you staying in business for a long time. And if you don't know how to sell, my God, it's all over the internet. There's books for it. It would teach you how to sell. They say salesmen are born, but I found out salesmen are made. You know, I used to be a very shy and introverted person, believe it or not. But it kind of came out of my shell. I read some books, Think and Grow Rich and stuff like that, and it helped me a lot. You know, so you can do the same thing. You can improve and practice, practice, practice. Practice with everybody and practice with all your clients. And don't be afraid to ask. Remember, timid salesmen have skinny children. Hey, Dub, you took my expression right there, but you beat me to it. Sales is the backbone of your company. So true. How you doing, Kalon? No, ain't that the truth? Okay. All right, so now that's 8. Now we're down to the last 7 here. We're getting up to the top. Number 7 is impatience. And what do I mean by impatience? Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. But we live in a world where everybody they want success at the flip of a light switch. Good luck with that in business, especially a small business, especially a new business getting up off the ground. It takes time. It's kind of like, to me, it's like building muscle. Okay? You know, one time I was 135 pounds, now I'm 180 pounds, right? I'm not a big guy, by no stretch of the imagination. But, you know, I found out I couldn't just go in the gym one time, lift the weight, and put on muscle. What I found out is you have to build layers, small layers of muscle over and over again, and then the muscles got larger. Of course, they're kind of getting smaller now that I'm getting older. almost 60 years old. But the whole point is now I've got financial muscle. So what you're doing is you're building up those layers on your business, and it's getting stronger and more powerful. And it gets that momentum. And with that momentum, it can stay a business for a long time, even if something happens. Maybe something of these 20 that's out of your control. Generally, it has that momentum to continue to move forward. So you want to make sure that you're not impatient. In this generation, a lot of these young people want things fast. Remember, a lot of people give up right when they're just about to be successful. It's kind of like climbing a mountain, right? The hardest part is climbing up to the mountain. But then once you get over it and start going down, it's a lot easier. I see a lot of carpet cleaners go up a mountain, come back down. Go up another mountain, come back down. Go up another mountain, come back down. They keep doing this. Remember, success is the progressive realization of a goal. Get that goal, get over that mountain, and you'll have that long-term success. Don't be impatient. Be very patient. Hang in there. It'll come around. You'll build up that clientele that will give you a solid business to make it through tough times and make you a lot of money throughout the future. Okay, number 6 here is lack of proper education. You know, and to me, there's no excuse for lack of proper education. You have the internet sites like our Facebook here. You have our forum, which has over 2 million posts on it. Right, it's a huge, monstrous resource, largest one in the industry, where you can type in any question you want, put Truck Mount Forums, and usually get an answer, and people discussing the whole subject over and over again. That's education. How about TMF Academy? We put the TMF Academy together, so it breaks it down in 3 parts, where you've got the classroom, I've got my own hand school, and then I give yourself a live job. So this way you have the education, because the more you learn, the more you earn. What is $299, what we saw a class for online, where it can make you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I see carpet cleaners buy a nice wand for $1,300 from us, we hope, we appreciate that. But the wand doesn't make you as much money. It can now with swivels and stuff like that, because it saves you time and efficiency, and it looks great. But really what you need, Greg says, I want patience and I want it right now. Ain't that the truth, Greg Allen? So true. But really, you know, the more you learn, if you have the education and the knowledge and diverse services, and even knowing your own service better, it'll teach you all the sales. It'll teach you how to, if you're we live in the day of the educated consumer. If you're educated, you can educate the client, and they're more liable to buy your services. So get as much education as you possibly can, and if you don't, shame on you. It's your own fault, okay? Because all the resources out there. Don't forget about YouTube. We have over 350 videos on our YouTube channel for Truck Mount Forums. We're a couple million views, and I think around 8,000 subscribers. Please subscribe to it. It helps us a lot. Hope it helps you too. All right, we're getting down to the top 5 here. The top 5 reasons. I don't know if you're all going to agree with me, but we're going to go through these next top 5 right here. Number 5 is failure to diversify. My motto is either diversify or die. And why do I say that? It might not happen right away, but it probably will eventually. Because there's so many other floor furnishings that are moving into the market and crowding out the market. You have stone, you have these new LVTs, you know, so you have hardwood floors, you know, so there's so many, and now we're getting polished concrete, epoxy floors and stuff like that. You need to be prepared. You need to diversify your services. And speaking of diversification, here comes another shameless plug. TMF Academy again helps you diversify because it has all these services, whether it's VLM, remember VLM for commercial or high rises, and you know, rug cleaning. Okay, there's another thing, you know, so upholstery cleaning. All those diversities. If you can diversify, you can really strengthen up and shore up your company to make it long term. And it's definitely helped me because what does it do? It gives you multiple income streams. If one is up, one's down, the other one could be up, and vice versa. It continues to go like that, and I love it. I've noticed in my business, I've got probably, you know, I've got a water damage company. People don't know if I've got a pest control company. I've got a carpet cleaning company. I've got the forum, a chemical company. So you put all those things together right there, it creates multiple incomes. Plus I've got investments. So you put all this together, I've got, if one thing's down, the other thing's up, I've got a balancing. More than likely I'm balancing my way up, getting higher and higher on the financial you know, security or securing your business for long term. So have those multiple income streams, diversify. That's number 5. Okay, number 4 And I know a lot of you guys think this is number one, and that's fine. Remember, this is just my top 20. Yours could be different, but any of these 20 can cause you to lose your business, right? Number 4 is lack of marketing skills. And I know a lot of you guys have probably heard me say before that Stanley Steamer is a marketing company who just happens to clean carpet, for instance. Same thing with ChemDry. They're marketers. Okay, so you need to learn marketing. If you don't understand marketing, get some books or hire somebody who does understand marketing. Even if you're just an owner operator, you should at least have a website. You should have some business cards. You should be passing out on a regular basis. Maybe you might have House Call Pro like I do, so they send postcards back, working your past customers. That's all part of marketing. How about your van? Does it look good? Is it wrapped? Is it clean and neat? Even your presentation makes a difference. Are you neatly groomed? Do you have nice shirts? Do you have nice uniforms? Are you wearing nice clothes? Are they clean? Are they pressed well? You want to look good. You want to look the part. You want to look like a professional. If you don't have marketing skills, you're probably not going to stay in business. So either get a book or get on the internet and learn some marketing. But I'm a big believer in House Call Pro, having a good CRM, retainment management, I think. I forget what it is. My son Trey handles that. But if you've got a good CRM like House Call Pro, remember, if you get House Call Pro, get our lifetime discount. It would help you out a lot. But they'll help you, improve your business and help you with your marketing skills and working your past clients. And you're giving them more information and you're looking more professional and everything's paperless. And clients love it. And you can stay in touch with them by email, by postcards, and by text messages. It's pretty doggone strong. You can't beat that, can you? So marketing skills is number 4. About to do the top 3, but let me get a little bit of water here. Okay, the top 3 reasons people go out of business to me. Number 3 is systems. You need to have a system. Now I'm going to say, well, you might think, well, I'm an owner operator. I really don't have a system. You probably do have a system. You probably do have a process. You just don't realize it. Okay? You're probably going through it so by second nature you don't even realize you're doing it. You're probably going through and, pre-qualifying the client, doing the walkthrough, doing the sales. Then you're going and getting set up. You're doing your pre-vacuuming. You're doing your pre-agitation. You're doing your pre-spotting. You're pre-spraying. You're rinsing the carpets. You're drying them. So see, you have a system. You just don't realize you have it. It might not be written down, but it's a system. Now, to me, you can't build a business without systems. Okay? Because it's going to be a foundation that's very loose. And when you start adding employees and the weight of a company on it, it's just going to come crashing down. So if you want a solid, rock-like foundation, you need to have systems. That way you can build upon it. That's what franchises do, right? But I'm kind of the anti-franchise. I teach people how, that's why it's so good about, come to shameless plug again, about TMF Academy. It teaches you a system for each individual service. Whether it's carpet cleaning, whether it's rug cleaning, whether it's tile, grout, and stone cleaning, whether it's VLM, whether it's commercial cleaning, rug cleaning, all of that teaches you and has a system right there so your employees can see exactly how you do it step by step. And you can put it in writing too. We put it in writing for our employees. So if you get the academy, put it in writing, and we can even provide that for you if you like. And that way you have a system and you can build your system up on it. Now, let's think about it. A lot of people pay thousands and thousands, maybe up to $100,000 for a franchise. Why? Because they want a system that can be replicated and duplicated over and over again. So, like I said before, we're kind of like the anti-franchise. We'll help you build your business if you help us by, helping us build our school, the TMFacademy.com. It teaches you a system. Unlike other schools that just kind of teach you a little book knowledge, we're teaching you the whole systems and the processes so you can break it down for your new employees. One thing I've noticed, when I started this school and I run my employees through it, I have cut my learning curve down from 6 months on an employee to 4 weeks. That's massive. That's huge. And so this is basically franchise material at pennies on the dollar. So think about it. Okay? All right, the top 2. Here we go, top 2. Number 2 is, number 2 reasons most carpet cleaners, or I should say thousands of carpet cleaners fail every year. I would say most carpet cleaners. But remember, 90% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. and another 90% fail in the next 5 years. You don't want to be one of those casualties. And here's number 2, undercapitalization. If you're undercapitalized and you don't have the money to make it through, there's a good possibility your business is going to come crashing down. So this is big. A business has to have cash flow to be able to pay the bills, to pay for your vehicle, to pay for your truck mount, to pay for your insurance, pay for your taxes. You need to have that cash flow. Or you need to have some cash flow built up, especially when you're starting a company. Or you could work a part-time job or a full-time job and build your business on the side. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're going to need that cash flow to keep that business going until it can build and run on its own. That's how I did it. I bootstrapped it many years ago. But I feel like right now, if I was dropped off in an airplane with a machine, I could start off anywhere and be 3 to 5 trucks within a year or 2. Why? Because now I have systems. I understand how that works. So, and I could bootstrap my way up. All right, and if I have to, I'll go knock door to door just like I did before. I'm not afraid to market, but I digress right there. But let's think about it. I know a lot of guys who have, I see this inside of distributorships all the time. There'll be a new van in there. You'll see this eager new guy to go inside there, right? And the distributorship, shame on them, unfortunately, they'll sell them the top of the line machine, top of the line everything. They're spending way out of their budget. They'll spend all their budget on machine and equipment, take it on home and think the phone's going to ring. Guess what? It doesn't. Okay? Instead, what they should have done was maybe started off a little less, maybe a used machine and used van in really good condition with low miles, and use that other percentage of the money to market their business. So they get the phone ringing, and then later on buy that fancy equipment. But a lot of people have it backwards, and unfortunately, distributorships a lot of times won't tell you that. Why? Because they want to make the money. So be wary of that. Be conscious of it. Okay? Also, don't, I think this is very important. If you're going to borrow, there's nothing wrong with borrowing money to accomplish something, but don't over borrow and don't under borrow. You want to be balanced about it, okay? If you can get a financial advisor or you know somebody who's a financial advisor, get the advice from them. That's really important. Okay, thanks, Michael. I appreciate that. How you doing, Sammy, David, Andrew? I'm almost done here, guys. Here's number 1. The number 1 reason to me that businesses fail or go out of business every single year. Thousands of carpet cleaning businesses, maybe every business just about. And that's poor money management. Okay? I kind of liken it to maybe somebody, male or female, who might have been very overweight. All of a sudden they lose a lot of weight. Next thing you know, they don't know how to handle it. Or a guy who's real skinny, all of a sudden gets a bunch of muscles, and now you know he's just, you don't know how to handle all the muscle that he has. Okay? Or they get this delusive way of looking at themselves. They're deluded. And so so here's a good example. What happens is you start making all this money, right? And then you go out and start buying yourself all these toys, maybe a jet ski, a top-of-the-line motorcycle, a luxury car. You're just buying all these things, a monstrous house and stuff like that. You're setting yourself up for failure if you don't have the money to know, or been in business long enough to know you can sustain those bills. Look at me, for instance. I could drive probably just about any car I wanted to, but I'll drive a $10,000, $15,000, 2 or 3 year old Acura. I don't have to do that, but I'd rather do that because I'm going to take my money and invest it somewhere else. A car doesn't make you money; it costs you money. All right, let's face it. As soon as you drive it off the lot, what happens? It immediately decreases in value, doesn't it? So I want things that make me money, not cost me money. And whenever you buy toys like jet skis or motorcycles and stuff like that, they're hard to get the money back out of. It's kind of like when you buy a house that might have a pool or something like that. They don't take all those little things into consideration, like a pool, because you're just adding on things that really weren't necessary. Now, I'm not saying those things are bad, but if you're buying those things too early, you're going to get yourself in trouble. I'm going to give you a fantastic example of that. And this taught me a huge lesson, and hopefully it teaches you a large lesson also. I ran into a guy who, right around 2009, 2010 or so, and I'd known him before that. I had cleaned his carpets inside of his house. And he had a huge contracting business. He was building homes. He was making millions of dollars. He was buying all his employees F-250 and F-350 trucks. He bought this monstrous house. He bought horses, stables. I mean, everything you could think of. I mean, this guy had every toy, everything you could think of. Guess what happened in 2008 when the crash happened? He lost his business. Not only did he lose his business, he lost his family. And guess what he was doing in 2010 or 2011 when I ran into him again? He was framing homes for like $20, $25 an hour, doing hard labor. Now, if he'd have managed his money more carefully, he still would have been in business. So it's, you know, to me, it's not your income that determines your success. You know, sometimes it's how you handle that income that determines your success. Okay, so manage your money properly. Don't overspend. You know, but there are certain things that you do want to buy, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you want to buy a UV light, for instance, hey, we have them, by the way. If you want to buy a UV light, you know that's going to make you money. Yeah, you might be thinking, so what's going to cost me $175? What's going to make you $175 in one or two jobs immediately? And it's going to make you thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. See, that's a good investment. So make proper investments. Think about things that that have a return. Always think ROI. I'm always thinking return on investment. Because if you don't, you're going to have these poor money management skills, and it's going to cost you your company. I see so many people fail that reason. Another thing too is, you know, you need to be able to make sure your family is spending the money correctly too. Make sure you have your business set up in such a way that nobody can spend all your money. I've seen that happen before too. My wife handles all my money. Every single dollar of it. She asked for 35 years. I have no problem with that. I haven't seen a paycheck in 20 years. Doesn't mean I don't have things, but she knows how to handle finances. So I turn them over to her, let her do investments. She has a great stock portfolio. She has a good real estate portfolio. And she questions me nicely, firmly, but, you know, basically asking, well, do we really need to have this? Is it really important to have this? And I'll say, well, you know, that's a good point. Let me think about it. Sometimes I'll say, you know, we don't need it. But most times I will say, you know what, let me show you how this is going to make us money. And she says, okay, that's a great idea. Go ahead and do it. And there's nothing wrong with a risk, but it needs to be a calculated risk. Don't take stupid risk, especially with your money. Manage your money correctly, and it'll help you long term and stay in business for a long time. Okay, well, that kind of covers it. That's my top 20. I'll make the list inside of here. Your top 20 might be different, or it's probably in there, but just might not be in the same list. But that's how I feel about it. That's my top 20 right there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take any questions. I'll stay on for another 15, 20 minutes. Let's see. Dub says, my comment referring to eating steaks referred to blowing money earlier in the video. I believe that, Dub. Amen to that, pal. Right? You're living like a king when you still don't have that king's income, right? Where you haven't built up that king-style business where you've been in business for a long time, where you can just go out and eat and do these things or spend more than you normally would. Okay? Thanks, Jason. I appreciate that, bud. Thank you, Andy. I'll put that list on here too. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate that, you guys. You know, these comments come so fast that I can't see them, so I'm going to have to answer some of these at a later time. But my whole goal and my whole focus, a lot of people might not know this, for starting Truck Mount Forums was I noticed that the industry was suffering when it came to quality, and it was overran with a lot of bait and switch cleaners and low-end cleaners and low quality. And I wanted my son and my grandson to inherit an industry that would be of higher quality, something they could be proud of. And so that's why when I went to the leaders in the industry and they didn't want to help me, thanks, Brian, I appreciate that. Thanks, Kayla. When I went to the leaders in the industry, they just kind of scoffed at me, like, who do you think you are? So I said, well, what can I do? So I started making YouTube videos. I started offering ride-alongs. I made a ride-along DVD. And I had people fly in here and I would teach them how to clean. So I kind of did it in a grassroots way. I didn't go the industry norm. And I've always done that. So I don't hardly ever stick with the Rob Allen. I'm at a standstill. Been in business for about 6 months. Tried the EDM for a few closing. Number one call. Where should I start? Gabriel, I'll address that, but it might take a little bit of time. Love to. Does TMF tile class include stone and other hard floor cleaning? Yes, it does, Dub. It is complete. You will understand how to recognize and ID natural stone, how to do color sealing, clear sealing, travertine, marble, ceramic, porcelain, you name it. It covers everything, man. I can't even remember so much it's in there. Believe me, it not only covers the cleaning process, it shows you the cleaning process and teaches you a lot of different things on there. Okay, but let's see. Do you have a distributor in Australia? I don't think so, Jeremy, but if you go to tmfshop.net, My son, he does ship out there some. So if you talk to him, thanks Kevin, I appreciate that, bud. Thanks Kevin Bryce, appreciate that. But if you go to tmfshop.net, my son Trey, who's the third, that's why we call him Trey, because boy Robert Allen the third, he mans the live chat there, and he can answer that for you, Jeremy. So please ask him that question there. Angeline, I think maintaining your equipment's a big one, but I only started watching it about the 14th on the list. Yeah, I agree with that. Maintaining your equipment's very important. There's no doubt about it. Yep. You have to learn how to be a truck mount. No problem, Doug. I think you have to be a truck mount mechanic in this day and time, at least a certain degree. At $100 an hour, if you're starting out, it's kind of hard to afford somebody to pay them $100 an hour to work on your equipment, right? So it really does help to learn your equipment, Andy. Good point. Well, I know I've missed a lot of comments. Kind of a shame that Facebook only lets you see the 1, 2, 3, 4 last comments that come up. I'm trying to keep this just to an hour. I'm trying to do it every Thursday at 9 o'clock. If I don't make it on Thursday, I'll make it up on Friday like I did here. Can't be too hard on my wife. You know, she bought some cool things, so I'm happy for her. And a happy wife, happy life, right? All right, and like I said, I will list these top 20 in the thread sometime tonight or tomorrow. Let's see. Ray Alonzo, how you doing, Ray? What's up, Ron? I'm getting good reviews from your product. Awesome, Ray. Glad to hear that, man. I appreciate that. We put a lot of work and effort into our pre-sprays and our rinses, our deodorizers, our urine products. We feel like they're the best on the market. And remember, we're always tweaking them. I never settle. You know, my motto is, if you rest on your laurels, it could bust your assets. Right? So I never rest on my laurels. I'm always thinking ahead and trying to improve something. And I'm testing in my own company first. I don't make a little tweak to anything I do, especially chemistry, until I test it in my own company first. Then I'll tweak it so it gets better and better. People don't even realize I've tweaked it. I've improved several products, and I hear good back from people, but I know that I improved them. So I think that's important. You haven't missed much, but it was a great video. Thanks, Dub. Listen, guys, if I missed anything, let me know. I can throw it right in there. Absolutely. Because I'm going to make a YouTube video out of this. I'll be glad to throw it in there. Greg Pack. How you doing, Greg? 2 good books to read. The Millionaire Next Door and The E-Myth. Yes, I've heard The E-Myth. I have not read The E-Myth. I got to read that one. I have read some excerpts of The Millionaire Next Door. I need to read more, but Truck Mount Forums takes up so much of my time. I'm so immersed in the industry itself. It's really tough to find time to read anymore, unfortunately. I'm going to make time for it, though. Especially now. Basically, I just go in for an hour or two. Excuse me, and my son runs the company, and generally I just leave and go back and kind of work with you guys on the internet. That's kind of how my day goes now. But I paid my dues. And I've been at this for 35 years. I've been on Truck Mount Forums, started Truck Mount Forums over a decade ago. So I've definitely paid my dues. So I can kind of sit back a little bit, enjoy myself. But I think I love this industry so much, it's hard for me to pull myself away from it. And my son says, Dad, take some time off. Go take some time off. But I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm doing fine, Octavio. How you doing, bud? Glad you can make it here. I appreciate everybody's participation here. I don't know if you like our new background or not, but I've kind of changed it up a little bit so it doesn't throw people. But I might make something permanent, something that's kind of TMF related. Any suggestions for a good background? Hey, let me know. I'd appreciate it. Dub Henny, where can we get a TMF shirt? Just ask Trey. He has them. We have TMF hats. Let me grab a hat here. There's a TMF hat right there. Can you see that? I know a lot of people say, well, why would I want a TMF hat? Well, think about it. It's got an earth and it's got a wand. So carpet cleaners or customers recognize it as carpet cleaning. They might not be looking at it so close. And then you could let them know, hey, you know what, Mrs. Jones? I'm TMF certified. Yeah. Okay, I've got a TMF certification. So that's another thing. If you take our TMF Academy course, you get a certification. You can say, listen, ma'am, I'm TMF certified in my area. One of the very few, if not the only. Okay, so that can carry some weight, carry some credibility. But just go to tmfshop.net and ask Trey. Remember, Trey handles the shipping, the store, and all that stuff. Let's see, Taylor Chapman got a bottle of Unchained thanks to the scratch cards. Just as a trial, I sprayed it on a 2-month-old dog spot. Left it there on purpose to see how the chemical worked in the corner. About 30 minutes after I sprayed it, completely gone, color and odor. Awesome, Taylor. Glad to hear that. Hey, congrats on the winning of the scratchers. The scratchers are pretty cool. That's my son's idea, not mine. Good for him. And good for you, bud. Glad to hear that. Dub Henning, well, I will use a rotary, but I'll definitely rock one. I heard that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Octavia, next week I'm buying the wand, Rob. Hopefully you have the orange one. Wow. Let me know, Octavia, if you're serious about that. When I looked today, we had a pink, an orange, and a green, and that was it. And I'm trying to make 3 more blues. I'm really trying hard, but I won't rush them. I want the quality. So Octavia, if you're really serious, let me know, and I'll put it to the side and hold it for you. Okay? The orange is beautiful. It really is. The orange, to me, unbelievable. I call this magenta, so people call it pink. But I think the pink or the magenta, man, really stands out. It's got standout power. I bet women will love it. But John Salvadori, I believe he mentioned, he did a survey, and a lot of his customers said they think they would like red. Interesting. But a lot of people come in and like the black ones. But, that's why I did a poll. I thought it was interesting. A lot of guys said they'd like to have a camouflage wand. I think I might try that. Might make 1 or 2 camouflage wands also. Okay. Robert Stigl says, one thing drives me back crazy is cleaners think just because you do 3 rooms for $99 makes you a hack. Location, location, location. Yeah, you have to know your area. I agree with that. And plus, let's face it, if you do 3 rooms for $99 and you have the ability to do add-ons, if you can add on furniture, you can add on extra rooms, you have that sales ability, more power to you. Steel & Steamer offers a $99 special. It's not for everybody. And listen, first you crawl, then you walk, then you run. So first you might start off with lower prices and you work your way up. You build your prices up as you build your clientele and you build your quality. Nothing wrong with that. So I don't see a problem with that, Robert, but I still think you have to be careful. Don't price it too low. And I agree. All areas differ. I've got a 5 million population in 70 cities here. But I also know it's a military income, so it's not some super high incomes here. So I have to be somewhat balanced with the prices that I charge. So that's a good point, Robert. Very good point. Also need a 10 in CRB, but I can get it at a lower price elsewhere. Do you price match? Message me, Octavia. I'll work with you, my man. I would definitely work with you. And I'd really appreciate it. Plus, we love you. We could throw some things in there that other people can't, too. So keep that in mind, too. So message me, Octavia. I'll certainly work with you. And I understand, that when you're buying something that big, I don't mind working out a package deal for people. It's like if I'm in a house. If I'm in a house and the client's going to have all her carpets done, all her furniture, all her tile, maybe her showers, I'm going to work out a package deal. There's nothing wrong with that. So same thing in business here. If you guys want a package deal, get in touch with me. Message me. And we can do a custom order or something of that nature. So I don't see a problem with that. But at least give me the opportunity, and I thank you, Octavia, for at least giving me the opportunity, okay? All right, so we got about 10 more minutes here. Let's see. Jay says, what's the difference between Tile Master and Grout Master? Wow, Jay, very good question. Well, Tile Master is just that. It's kind of made more for the tile. Grout Master is just that. It's kind of made more for the grout. So I feel like that Grout Master just cleans grout much faster. So the biggest difference between the two is speed. And Grout Master just cleans fast. And it generally doesn't need scrubbing, where Tile Master might need the scrubbing. And Tile Master is only sold through Interlink distributors, where Grout Master is only sold by us. So keep that in mind. So does that answer your question, Jay? I hope. But they're both great products, and they're both great, especially for using as a booster for your pre-sprays. Keep that in mind. A scoop or 2 added to your pre-spray can make a huge difference in your cleaning results, regardless of what pre-spray you use. Is it wrong that I charge more for Berber carpet? I used to charge more for Berber carpet. I don't have a problem with that. $25. It's up to you. The beauty of America, Octavio, is your business. You can charge what you like. Just try to be as fair and honest as possible. If you want to clean, what about rugs? For instance, and I know a lot of people might have a problem with that, Octavio. I'm going to tell you why I don't have a problem with it. If somebody brings a rug into my shop and it's made of polyester, where I've got another one that might be made of a very delicate wool, I'm going to charge more for that wool. That's my right. I know it's going to take longer. It's going to take different chemistry. And I know when it comes to Berber myself, I like to take and put some Unchained down first before I even clean it. Then I'll put my pre-spray down, and then I'll agitate it and clean it. So I'm putting down something else because I don't want it to wick, and because we know that Berber is very notorious for wicking, and I want it to be as bright as possible. And we also know it's made of olefin. So olefins are pain to clean. So and to keep clean. So if you want to charge a little extra for it, that's your right. Let's see. Groutmaster kills on concrete. Thanks, Terry. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm working more with that all the time on Groutmaster. Terry, what dilution ratio do you use? Dub says Tile Master. Does it compare to Groutmaster? I have both. Sorry that offends anyone. This is my personal opinion. Now, hey, look, I appreciate honesty. You know, when people come on the forums and they're honest about the things they say, I have no problem with it. But when they come in and they're just shilling for somebody else, or they're just trying to put a dig in, that's when I have a problem. To me, Dub, I can see that you're just being honest and sincere, and I appreciate that. Thank you. To me, I think they're both great products, but do I think Groutmaster is better? Absolutely. So we're not going to have any disagreement on that. 2 scoops per gallon. Okay, yeah, 4 ounces, Terry. Okay. Yeah, that's what we recommend too. Terry, are you using it outside, like in driveways or sidewalks? Or are you using it in warehouses? I'm using it in a warehouse. Unbelievable how good it did in my own warehouse. Are you using it in garages? Where are you using it at? I'd like to know where you're using this to clean the concrete at. Around my own house, I've got all kinds of stuff. I've got brick. I've got, oh man, all kinds of stones. I some granite stones, all kinds of stones outside of my house. That's this guy put up around here. And I can't even recognize some of them. But anyway, I got them all together. It's about 10 different types of stones in the landscape. Pretty interesting what this guy did. And I started cleaning them, inside and outside. Good to know, Terry. And what I did is I cleaned half of every one of them. And there's a lot of slate. The guy used slate, I guess, around the base of the home. So when water came down, it would sheet off. And it was kind of angled. I thought it was kind of cool. But the slate looks kind of dirty. And so I took the slate and cleaned half of it after it'd been out in the yard for 10, 20 years. 20 years, I guess this house is. And man, it cleaned up gorgeous. I want to do a live video. It was just that nice. Cleaned brick the other day, and it did great. I'll send you pics. Terry, I want to see those pics. Absolutely, man. Terry, there's a lot of brick mailboxes in my neighborhood, and I noticed they're real bad off. And I thought about offering to clean 1 or 2 for people and do a video on it. So any help you can give me, I appreciate it. Terry, are you a pressure washer by chance? Dub? I've actually been using 3 scoops of Groutmaster and 1 scoop of Tile Master for every 2 gallons. Good results. Just try to get rid of my time. Ooh, I heard that, Dub. That's a good idea, though. That's a real good idea. So you're keeping the pH up high enough, but you're still getting the benefits of the Groutmaster. Smart. You're actually boosting Groutmaster. Or the other way around. So Terry, are you a pressure washer? Robert Stegel, I learned not to use the Hydroforce Groutmaster. Works better from an electric sprayer or a pump up, I want to say. Amen to that. Mix it with warm water, not too hot of water, because that gets you in trouble. Because it separates and it dries too fast and you get a little bit of a haze, right? You do something, Terry. Okay, cool. Robert Stegel, that's a great point right there. That's why I recommend using tap water when using Groutmaster. It's 3 products in 1. If you use your truck mount water, it can separate on you, fall out of dilution. It doesn't clean as well, and it dries too fast, and it can haze on you. Also, if you're using an electric sprayer, which is what my choice is, you can spray all your grout lines first, then spray over the whole thing, wait 2 minutes, go over top of it, and it looks great. Terry, some outside work, but mostly use the spinner. Hey, I just picked up, by accident, a 15-inch spinner, because we had ordered a 13-inch spinner for, well, I should say, they ordered a 12 or 13-inch, whatever the turbo hybrid comes in, and one of my shipping people accidentally ordered a 15-inch. Thought it was a special order because I don't even keep a 15-inch because most truck mounts can't drive a 15-inch turbo hybrid. So I had to eat that, but it came back to me, but I'm going to put it on my new truck. So I'm kind of excited about that because my new truck has a pressure washer built in and reclamation ability. So it can deliver 4,000 PSI, 8 gallons per minute, and 20 inches of lift. So I'm really looking forward to trying that on some concrete. Terry, are you using a brush with your spinner for concrete, or are you just using the what do you call it, the Teflon ring? Which one are you using, Terry, for doing your concrete? Let me wrapping this up in a couple minutes, guys. Really appreciate everything. So Terry, do you use the brush ring, or do you use the Teflon ring? What's up, Phil? How you doing, bud? Glad you could join us. If you just joined us, we just did a video on the top 20, and I'm gonna this video will be available here So you can actually go back and watch if you want to the top 20 reasons people go out of business. So Terry, did you get my message there? The question I asked? Here I'm asking questions. Maybe I can even type it in. I guess I could. Brush with rollers. Yeah, brush with rollers. I don't have the rollers. Is it a turbo hybrid? Do I need the rollers? If you don't mind either posting a picture or sending me a picture of it in private message, I appreciate it. At Golf Bud. Nice. Nothing wrong with that, Phil. Nothing wrong with that. I love me some golf, brother. I think I played 2 or 3 times this week. I can't remember. I think I played 3 times this week. Fortunately, I've been in business 35 years, so now I can go play some golf. Go in for a couple of hours, go play some golf, and my son can run the company. I'm very blessed to have him working for me. Or should I say working with me. He's unsurpassed me anyway. Yeah, more power to him. Yeah, Terry, don't forget to send me that picture, brother. I want to see the pictures of the brickwork, the concrete work, and of your tile tool that you're using. Oh, it is a hybrid. Okay. Did you buy the roller separately? It's an add-on. That's the add-on roller kit. Okay, cool. Thanks, David. I definitely got to get that. I got to get that add-on roller kit. Makes sense, easier to move. Yeah, I guess so. How does it extract? How good does it extract, Terry? Does it still extract good? I would think with the brush on there, you're not getting a lot of extraction. Let's see, Charles Williamson says, hi Robert, I have a portable with a bladder, which is heated. If I put grout mass in there, does it affect that rubber at all? I don't think alkaline will hurt it, Charles. I really think what will hurt is acids. I don't think alkaline is going to hurt it, but if you're concerned about it, just run some rinse through it. You know, run some clear water afterwards. Okay? Looking forward to that, Terry. Thanks. I believe what you say is true, Rob. I did notice the difference in the tile color with the tile mask. I also noticed the difference in the grout color. Cool. Glad to hear that. Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, I never thought about that, Dub. Putting them together would be lethal. That's pretty cool right there. Robert Stoke, I've come to like the RSF Spike more lately. Love BioPro, but some people have forgotten since BioPro came out. Don't underestimate RSF because of the hype of the Bio. RSF, I think, hangs well against it. I have to agree with you, man. It's just different. You got one on enzymes, and you got one that's oxidizer-based. But the oxidizer-based has the grout master in it, so that's pretty cool, isn't it? So, yeah, if you give it a little more, they're both fantastic products. And you know what I found too, Robert? The type of water you have in your area makes a big difference. If you have hard water or soft water, I find one works better in one area than the other. So it's important to test the pre-spray to see which one works better in your area. I'm a big believer of that. Very well. No problem, Charles. Yeah, glad to hear that, Terry. So it still extracts water good. Yeah, give me a, I definitely want to see that. I'm going to get the roller kit for my 15-inch. The 15-inch comes in green. Is that normal? Thought that was unusual, that it came in green and not in blue. Maybe that's how they separate them. But it's green. Thought it would be in blue. Alright guys, well that's been almost, I think right at an hour. Let me look at it here. It says 51 minutes, but I think it's almost been an hour. So another 9 minutes I'll be here, or less. Because you know what, I think there's a lag on these videos on Facebook. I've noticed coming through my video camera here, it's up to date. And I can see myself in real time, but the other I can't. Green, blue, and black. You know, Terry, I didn't ask for a color. They just sent it to me randomly as green, or I should say to the client. So I would have loved to have a different color, perhaps. Yeah, good night, Tommy. I'm glad to hear you feeling better, Tommy. Yeah, no problem. I'm definitely going to get me, you know what, the brush ring came with it, Terry, come think of it. But it didn't come with the roller add-on. So I'll definitely get that. I can't wait to try it out. Because I think I've got a 24-inch spinner that came with my system. It's a freaking beast. I mean, it is a monster. But I think it's overkill for most of the jobs that I'm doing, you know. And it has rollers on it, but it doesn't really extract as well as I think it should. What's up, Jamie? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, Jamie. Hope life's treating you well, man. Looking forward to you coming down here. Looking forward to anybody who wants to stop by our shop. A cleaner stopped on his way down to Hatteras, going to a fishing trip today. That's all right, Jamie. I'm going to have the 20 here, and the video will be up. But a carpet cleaner stopped by. I think he was from New Jersey. Super nice guy. Stopped in, picked up our rug course. I showed him around how our rug process is. Spent an hour or two. Seemed really excited about it. And those are the kind of things you can learn if you stop by our school. Come on by. If you're on vacation, you're anywhere near Virginia Beach, you're coming down I-95, stop in. We're only 2 or 3 hours away. Come on over. I think it'll really help you. You're restoring your truck mount. Awesome. I don't know about you, Brian. Brian Adams, I don't know if we can let you come over and visit, brother. You're learning too much, man, even though you're only a couple cities away from me. I think I'm going to have to put a sign out front of my building, Brian. No locals. Just kidding, of course. Matter of fact, Brian, we got to get that thing going for the Florida, so remind me on that. I'm just waiting for the advertising literature to come through, okay? Bill Lewis. I'll stop by. I'm in Delaware. Yeah, come on by, Bill. Love to have you. Listen, if you're going to come, message me. Make sure I'm in town. I usually am in town, 99% of the time, usually, 90% of the time, at least. And give me some heads up so I can make sure I'm not out running out doing something or playing golf and miss you, or out in the field doing some videos or something of that nature. Let me know when you're coming. Give me some heads up notice, and I'll do the best I can to see you there. Live in Nevada. Yeah, I've been there, Kayla, to Nevada, and I used to go. My son now goes to the Vegas shows. I really don't. Robert Stigl, my courtesy door coming Monday just in time for winter. Awesome. I think you're really going to like it, Robert. It's got a lot going for it. Yep. There's hardly, carpet cleaners don't see the need for it, so I think you're going to really like it a lot. Look forward to hearing your review on it, as a matter of fact. Hey, everybody's loved it so far, so hopefully you'll be one of those people too. All right, 5 more minutes, guys. Another sip of water, and boom. As a matter of fact, I think I'll go over to the forum itself, truckmountforums.com, and I'll go ahead and make a thread and put this video from YouTube in that thread, and I'll break down all the top 20, and I'll let other carpet cleaners come in and talk about it too, so there might be some other things or different numbers you might think are higher. Love to hear your viewpoint on it. Yeah, sorry, Jamie, brother, I've been talking for almost an hour now. I'm trying to cut it an hour, but tomorrow night, usually on Saturday nights, I do kind of do an after dark. Grab a beer, pull up, we'll have a question and answer. Just to ask me anything kind of scenario. I'd love to have you. Charles Williamson, how long does it usually take you to install and dismantle the door? Is it almost instant? Yeah, I mean, it takes 5 seconds, literally. Boom, boom. That's it. It's just that simple. Charles, it's that fast, and it's so worth it. Our doors do so much more than the other ones out there, and I'm not knocking the other ones. More power to them. It's a capitalistic society, so there's nothing wrong with competition, but mine has the ability to go from 6 foot to 8 foot on the fly. Don't have to have extra ones. Don't have to buy 2 of them. You don't have to buy attachments. It's already built to it. Plus, it has a carbon monoxide holder tester. Get yourself a carbon monoxide tester, put it on there. It's got a holder for that. It's got a much larger window for visibility. And it's also very high quality yacht material. So I think you'll find it very well built. And it's also lightweight instead of heavyweight. And it's got lightweight metal poles instead of, PVC poles. I'm not a fan of PVC myself, okay, for that reason. Vodka on the water? No, sir, that's just water. Tomorrow night, I'll definitely have some. My son said he bought me a bottle of wine, so I'll probably be drinking wine tomorrow night. My wife prefers wine, we'll drink wine every once in a while. Let's see. Taylor says, ordered the HydroMaster CDSX. That's brave, Taylor. That's still a new unit on the market. Very brave. And it comes with the Evolution wand. Is there a big difference between that wand and the wand you justify the starting out new? Wow. I mean, Taylor, having a swivel wand and being able to get on the furniture and stuff like that is amazing. Get in tight spots. It's got definitely more vacuum. Yeah, it's definitely a better wand by a mile. So normally I wouldn't say yes, but if you can afford it, definitely get it, or go for a little while and then build up if you want to. Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to have the TMF Westpac wand on display tomorrow at Humorama. Daggone, Brian, if you want to still come by and get one of mine, you're welcome to do that. Totally forgot about it, brother. Totally forgot about it. But I'm sure that one will still look nice too there. But I totally forgot about that, man. That's great for Canada. Screw a wand, buy a rotary, and join the big boys club. Yeah, Dub, we don't use rotaries like everybody else uses rotaries. We don't take them upstairs. We just use them downstairs for the most part. And we don't have to use them every home. It just depends on the condition of the carpets. But, a good wand and a CRB goes a long ways. I did too. Okay, Brian. All right, I don't feel so bad if you forgot also. Cool. Glad to hear that. All right, guys. 2 more minutes. That's it. 2 more minutes, and I am done. Stick a fork in me. I am done. I'm going to go get a snack, watch some TV with the wife, and call it a night, you know. Maybe go work out in my garage a little bit. Do some... it's getting kind of late, 10 o'clock, but it is Friday night. Have a good night. Thanks, Charles. I appreciate that. And I guess I'm going to wrap this up unless somebody pops up here with a question. Remember, tomorrow night, more than likely, or Sunday night, but probably tomorrow night. Yeah, no problem, Charles. I'll be back on, and we'll do a Ask Me Anything, and just kind of TMF After Dark, I call it. Thanks, Terry. Appreciate that. Looking forward to those messages and those pictures, Terry. And maybe we can talk about it more tomorrow night. I usually come on sometime around 10, 11, or 12, depending on how I feel. After the wife goes to bed, I'll just come on and we'll do a TMF After Dark. Does the CRB and a wand outperform a rotary with a brush head? Good question. Wife will beat you if you stay longer. True that, Jamie. Yeah, I'm going to have to go downstairs and watch some TV with her, right? No doubt about it. Especially on Friday night. But we did eat dinner together, so that's cool. Doug, let me tackle that maybe next week or something. That's a good question. Remind me. Because there are advantages to both of those. Some good advantages and some disadvantages. But I think that would take a long time to talk about. Where I got to wrap this up, brother. I got to wrap this up. But that's a great question, Doug. A real great question. So we'll definitely tackle that. All right. Well, I thank everyone, and I hope this benefits you. Hopefully, your business will be successful, and it'll be successful long term. If you can kind of steer away from the majority of these, I'm pretty confident you'll build a solid foundation and a solid business. You'll have the strength and the the ability to go right through rough times and be very successful. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have yourself a great night.